Good afternoon to everybody. This is a meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. It is 6 o'clock, and I'm calling this meeting to order. First item is roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Gerardo Villarreal.
Present.
Jorge Dominguez. Mike Barone.
Present.
Jose Eduardo Garcia Jr. Johnny Narvaez.
Present.
Yu Xian Huang. Larry Dovalina.
Here.
Daniela Salapaz.
Here.
Ana Villarreal. Mr. Chairman, you do have quorum.
Thank you very much. Can everybody please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance? Oh, before we go there, can we have a motion to excuse the commissioners that didn't make it?
So move.
Second. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item we have is consideration of the approval of the minutes of the meeting of October 20th of 2022 and the meeting of November 17th, 2022.
Mr. Chairman, there were no minutes provided in the packet, so we'd ask that we table this for the next meeting, please.
All right. Second. And a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Do we have anybody signed up for citizens' comments?
Anybody? No, sir.
Thank you. The next item is public hearings. First public hearing is amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 194.29 acre tract of land out of portion 41. This tract is located east of US Highway 83 and west of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A and B1 to B3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, we have the applicant South Webb County Limited, which is the owner. We have Howland Engineering Survey Company, which is the applicant and the representative. Property description, approximately 194.29 acres, located east of US 83 and west of Cuatro Vientos Road. The zone changes from R1A and B1 to B3. Proposed use is commercial. The applicant did not identify the specific proposed commercial use. Letters sent were 6. None were for and none were for against. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Zoning map. Future land use map. And the recommendation is staff supports. And the proposed motion.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would like to see if it would be possible if we can open up items 6A to 6I.
Do you have the overview?
Okay.
I asked him to bring an overview.
Okay, because I think it needs to be seen from a big picture, and I know we're gonna have to take the motion, but if you see it in little pieces, it's not gonna make as much sense as it would the whole master plan,
I
so.
think that's a very good idea. I will then, this is a public hearing, and we have opened this public hearing, but I will open the rest of them. And then we'll take comments on each one of the specific items from A to I. Let me go ahead and open them all. This is, the next one we're gonna open up is amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 8.21 acres tract of land. And this is located east of US Highway 83, north of Mangana High Road from R1A and B1 to B3. The next one we're gonna open up is amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 10.92 acres of land. And again, this is located east of US Highway 83 and north of Mangana High Road from R1A to B3. The next one is amending the zoning ordinance map of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 31.53 acre tract of land located north of Mangana High and west of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A to B3. The next one is gonna be amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 147.60 acres. This is located north of Mangana High Road and east of Highway 83 from R1A and B1 to R2. Next one that we're gonna have is amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 450.71 acre tract of land located west of Cuatro Vientos Road. east of Highway 83 and west of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A and B1 to M1. The next one is amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 41.06 tract of land. And this one is located north of Mangana Hine Road and east of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A to B3. The next one that we have is, what is it? Amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 370.56 acre tract of land. This one is located north of Mangana Hine and east of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A to M1. And the other one that we have now is amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Laredo by rezoning approximately 65.93 acre tract of land located north of Mangana Hine and east of Cuatro Vientos Road from R1A to B3. Okay? I have opened up all the public hearings, and we will take public comments on all of the hearings. Just tell me which one, if any, or all, that you wish to address. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission and staff. As planning department mentioned, I wanted to put something up here so you guys can see it. If we can see it, everything as a whole. These are all the separate tracks we're rezoning. The pink is R2, R2. Yellow or brown is B3, and the M1 is in blue. All these items are for each separate track, as we can see here, separated by their borders and their colors. And if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to address all items, and if you guys have any questions, here to answer any questions you may have.
Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
All right.
How are you gonna deal with traffic?
Well, at this time, we're just, applying for the rezone, but we are considering traffic. We're gonna do the appropriate traffic, studies and analysis, as required, by the city as we move forward in development. But we do know, well, as we can see, we're between Cuatro Vientos and US Highway 83, and we're also planning to bring in some roads, existing roads, which is Ejido, bring it down the middle, and we'll have some, pretty good circulation, but we'll do the necessary studies.
So, Mr. Chairman, one of the things that I did not want to see yards that are going to back up to our roads, like we see today, right? Right now, if you drive, you see a yard with a bunch of trailers everywhere. I was telling them I don't necessarily want to see that. I'd like to see businesses fronting, commercial businesses fronting. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see that gray, there's a big creek that runs through the northwest side of the property.
Where's Cuatro Vientos Road?
This is
The
Cuatro,
white one, the white road.
and this is 83.
And the lake is on the other side?
That's correct, the lake is on the other side.
Are we, I think at some point, there is, this property again is impacted by the TxDOT roadway that is still belonging to TxDOT, and you're gonna be faced with the same situation that you've been faced in every other development, where you're crossing TxDOT's road in order to get to 83. And if we don't ever resolve it, it's gonna become an impediment to development. Because you need to clear the air on the thing. And everybody knows that you risk whether they tell you yes or no. Even if everybody else says yes, they can still say no and block you.
In talking to the engineers and to the owner, I told them they need to be talking with TxDOT. This is a big future project that we're trying to work on, and traffic is number one on this, because we don't want this to go forward and we don't have the traffic set up. So what we're doing here, the basic concept we were working on right now was some buffers, making sure that we don't have residential, we have good buffering between residential and the businesses. We talked about the zones that we would allow in certain areas, but we still are working with TxDOT to try to work on the roadways, because You can't just come out onto Mangana High, you know, and think you're gonna have a bunch of 18-wheelers in Mangana High. That's not gonna work.
Maganahain is already not able to take care of the traffic
It's not
currently.
even, it's not even a road to work with. US 83, there's no way, not going, so they're gonna have to come this way. There's also an outer loop that's being discussed. So, I don't know if there's an update by the developers, if they talk to TxDOT.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Carranco. I'm one of the developers on the property. We sat down with TxDOT, see, it must have been last month, to discuss the property and the development as a whole. And really, the principal question was what's going to happen with the loop here. If you look at the way that it's set up right now, it is a limited access corridor, which extends from here clear up to Highway 59. And if there's any trucks going up to 59, they're going to be going to Houston anyways from here. But the rest of the loop, as you all know, will be a limited access highway within the next 5 years. This development will take far more than 5 years to build out. The loop, in addition to that, is under consideration past US 59 as the I-69 designation, which would make it an interstate corridor. And beyond that, south of there, TxDOT's in the process of doing an I-2 study to extend the interstate system from 59 down south all the way to McAllen eventually. But in the immediate term, it would go from here all the way to where the future Fifth Bridge has been proposed. In that regard, traffic would be allocated, in the way we're looking at our master plan, is to allocate it to Cuatro Vientos so that all the local traffic would stick to US Highway 83, at least domestically. If you also look in here, it's not clearly defined. This road here is an additional road which we'll be building out as developers. That's a Santa Cecilia. That will take care of any sort of circulation on the inside with residential work and whatnot. The whole point in this development was to separate and segregate what exists right now, which is a residential area in South Laredo, and the very near future was going to be a lot of industrial between here and the Fifth Bridge. We wanted to create an area that would be safe and readily accessible for the residences who are looking for jobs in South Laredo as opposed to going to North Laredo, to be close to their work, but at the same time prevent any sort of congestion that may come from the potential between residential and commercial vehicles. To that extent, I think one of the best things about our plan, particularly when it comes to that, and it's not shown on this map, and I'm sorry it's not, is this area right here. It's very, very faint. That there is a traffic circle. We talk about traffic circles primarily as an opportunity to slow things down. When it comes to that, we're using it here as a separate and new way of flowing traffic. As you know, TxDOT and the rest of the state of Texas are really promoting traffic circles as a way to circulate traffic in a better manner. That circle there will prevent any 18-wheelers from going further west, hitting any sort of residential traffic, and really relegating them to the Cuatro Vientos corridor. So they need to come into this area here, they make a U-turn and go in there. If they want to come in from here, there'll be an overpass over Mangana High, which will take a left and go up there. That's assuming they're coming north. If they're going south, similar idea. It's right in, right out there, or potentially making a U-turn coming over here. In short, Mr. Dovalina, when we were looking at this, the very first question is, what is traffic flow going to look like? Because ultimately, when it comes to traffic, we don't want a situation like you have up north, and you're absolutely right in that regard.
Who did you meet with at TxDOT?
We met with, who was on the call?
Everybody that's no longer there?
Rafa Guzman?
Mr. Guzman, I think, was on the call.
Huh?
It was Mr. Guzman. It was, here, I can pull up a list here, if you'll bear with me for a second. But we met with 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 folks in that meeting. And we met there at the, let's see here.
I'm concerned with the TxDOT people being able to commit to whatever they're saying because they get their marching orders from somebody else. And David Salazar has now gone to Fort Worth. Tito has now gone to Austin. And they're bringing in replacements from everywhere, including the valley. And so those are people that aren't familiar with
the area.
what's areas.
Well, Jason Hinojosa was our point of contact there. Jason Hinojosa. He's been there for a little bit already, and he's familiar with the community and whatnot. He's been our basic point of contact, and he was the one who brought the staff into the meeting there.
I wish you well, and I wish you luck with TxDOT.
Well, I think what we have before us right now, your points are all very valid. this is really dealing with zoning at this point. We still have
Yeah,
the plans that come back.
I understand, but
And I think at the plating stage is where we'll look at what you're concerned about, making sure that we have no queuing going back into established, and that's by design when you do the design phase of it.
That's right.
The points that are being brought up, I'm sure you have already kind of,
familiar.
thought about it.
Yes.
Thought about it at this point. Larry's point is a very, very valid point that a lot of the people there are no longer there. And so now you got new players to deal with again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like he says, I mean, what might have been, said may change a little bit because you got new players coming in. And that's just why he's concerned about the traffic flows and stuff, and it's just an FYI, nothing else.
Yes, sir, I understand.
I mean, that's
I
what he's
don't
trying to do.
I don't want you to be left holding the bag.
Yeah, he's just concerned for the large development that becomes an issue after a while.
Right.
Does anybody else have any comments? Yes, sir.
I had a question for staff.
Yes, sir.
not necessarily For the applicant. I noticed in one of the comments is made that the M1 doesn't meet or doesn't meet the comprehensive plan's, I guess, recommendation as far as the M1 in this area.
Yes.
So the comprehensive plan doesn't support this, yet the staff is supporting the M1 in this area. So if we can pull up a map, I'd like to see more or less what the comprehensive plan in this area looks like and what's the nearest M1 in this area, in the south.
I can tell you this, this area and the comprehensive plan had this as residential, okay? It's been residential for the last 20 years, okay? The dynamics are changing with here, they're changing in this area. With the loop, the potential bridge out there, that's why it doesn't meet.
Okay.
Because we are actually bringing M1 to the area.
So we would
It changes-
eventually address the comprehensive plan to
So
make
you're
sure we
gonna-
make these changes
That's
to
correct.
it.
That would
so
have
it
to
can
be
meet.
done.
So this is ahead of the game
Yes,
before we address the comprehensive plan.
So that will be amended.
it has to be amended,
Yeah.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
the comprehensive plan is anybody's best guess. That's really what that is.
It's a-
Unfortunately, and as things change in the world, so do land uses.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, we need.
Oh, he's correct.
We need to bring that particular document back because it needs some changes in a lot of different areas. You're absolutely correct.
And this is a big step, that's why it's coming here, so that we could go over this, and then if it goes through the process and everything is okay, then we'll go to comprehensive plan and make the changes. We do not want, in the future, I do not want warehousing on the riverside of 83. I'd like to stay away from M1s along the riverside. So that's something that we're trying to protect. So the comprehensive plan is for residential in those areas, and we're trying to maintain that. But on the east side of 83, we started looking at this, and we went around the outside because we didn't want warehouses coming right up to the street. So if you see the changes that we're asking for, there's an R2, and then there's B3s. And we think B3's good. You can see we didn't even put B4s in here. We've reduced it down to B3, and that's pretty much where we're at. And then we have the R2, and I don't think we have, do we have any others on?
I don't think we have any R1 there, just R2.
No, it's just R2.
There's
R2 is.
R2 and everything else is B3, so we're trying to control that, and then, of course, the middle is the M1.
Okay, anybody else have any questions on the commission? All right, thank you very much. Does anybody else wish to speak in favor of items A through I? In favor? Does anybody wish to speak against the zone changes in items A through I? Against the zone change? All right, what are the wishes of the commission?
I vote to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve items A through I. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion carries. Thank you. Next item that we have is the review and consideration of the following master plan. Review and revision to the D&J Alexander subdivision master plan. The purpose of this revision is to reconfigure phases.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is D&J Alexander Management Engineer, Premier Engineering and Surveying. Proposed use, residential and commercial. The zoning for this development is R1, R2, B1, B3, and B4. Location view, aerial view, master plan,
Siete,
staff comments planning,
siete, 7A.
traffic safety, parks and leisure. Proposed motion.
All right. Yes, sir.
Good evening, my name is Armando Guerra, representing the developer, Premier Engineering. We concur with staff's comments, and
Let me ask you something real quick. What is the change that you're looking at on the revision?
let me see if I can.
Actually,
Can you put it up on the screen there? Just point it out to me.
Sure. So basically, it's all the red lines that you see there.
Red lines. I don't have red lines on my screen.
you're gonna have to zoom in.
Oh, right. Let me see. There we go, okay.
All right.
So for this phase, it changed basically the configuration of the lot layouts.
Okay.
We have an entrance here on University and an exit here, or entrance exit at Casa Verde Road.
On what?
So that
Casa
was-
Verde.
Casa Verde,
Okay, so you added a roadway.
yes.
Okay.
And then the second one is over here. It's just also a reconfiguration of all the lots in here. And this is for 32, and it's just this configuration right here. So it's just added another local road.
Is your red just where the delineation line is, before you reconfigured? Is that what it is up there on 32?
That is correct, sir.
Now, let me ask you something. Did you add or delete lots, or did you make the lots bigger? What did you do?
No, there was no addition or
So what was the reconfiguration? You just,
it was just the developer wanted to just move around items, move around the lots for,
That's
I
what I-
guess, to fit them better.
so that means that some of them became a little bigger. Is that what it is?
It could be,
In
yes.
terms of square footage?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does anybody in the commission have any questions for the engineer?
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Are you proposing to come in with this phase next?
No.
Do you have an idea when the extension of University will be added? Because right now, what we're seeing is we're seeing cars that are cutting through Alexander.
Okay.
And they're going through the neighborhoods. And because I guess it's students from the university who are getting out, they cross over Loop 20, they get to Casa Verde Road, but then they'll take a ride into the neighborhood. And, you know, we're hoping that University Boulevard can come in sooner than later to help with that traffic we're having.
We'll address it with the developer and bring it up.
Okay, yeah, just have them call me and we can talk about it.
We'll do, thank you.
You think that's going to alleviate the problem?
So what's happening is they're turning on Casa Verde.
I
and
do
then
that
they
myself.
shoot- Yeah, and then they shoot into Alexander. So the neighborhood people are having cars cutting through their neighborhood. So if we put University in, hopefully they just stay on University and go through and stay away from zigzagging through the neighborhood. Because that's not what the neighborhood was designed to do.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, so. So please don't do that anymore.
Ya saliste regañado.
Does anybody else have any questions for the engineer? All right, if not, what are the wishes of the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve subject to comments.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. The next item is review of the revision of the Embarcadero North Master Plan. The intent is industrial.
Yes, sir. The applicant is Farias Development, engineer Camacho Hernandez and Associates, proposed use industrial. The zoning for this development is M1. Location view, aerial view, the revised master plan, Staff comments, planning. Proposed motion.
All right. The engineer of
This
record
is-
here?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. My name is Ben Puig with Farias Development Limited, the owner of the project, and I concur with staff recommendations and can answer any questions if you have any.
The revision that you're doing is, I mean, unfortunately, we have nothing but black and white. We really can't tell what is what.
Okay. This is the old master plan that we had approved by the city of Laredo, and the area that's being revised is the northwest quadrant of Mines Road and Loop 20.
Okay.
The old master plan had that broken up into two phases. It was called Phase 2 and Phase 4. Now all we're doing it is creating one bigger lot and just calling it Phase 2. So now with this new master plan revision, you'll see here that this whole area that was broken up into, because we at one point, Phase 4 was going to be commercial along Mines Road. All of that's being removed now, and Phase 2 will be the entire quadrant of M1.
Okay.
And that is gonna be B4 or what?
M1.
I'm one.
M1.
Which it already is.
Won't it defeat the purpose of creating a better viability on the roadway as you make a turn there to get traffic off of Mines Road?
A liability?
No,
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
you block some of the traffic that's turning because you're designing it in such a way that you have a right turn lane there without going to the light, right?
No, everyone will still have to use that light to turn, to go to World Trade Bridge. If I can, and I'll skip ahead a little bit, but the first phase of this plan, this might make.
Is that
provide
a
some
right
clarity.
turn or a left turn off of Mine Road?
So if you're coming from the north heading south, you'll turn right to go to the World Trade Bridge
Okay.
through the light.
Yeah.
En la que se hace
And if you
tumulto.
build warehousing there and then you have trucks exiting from that lot, wouldn't they conflict then with the trucks that are coming from the north?
All the trucks, we designed it specifically for that problem not to be created, and we designed it for all truck entrance and exit to be on the access road of Loop 20. Only vehicular car access will be allowed along Mines Road. In addition to that, we also designed it where we have a larger queuing area to get the trucks off of the access road as well. And all of this has been vetted with TxDOT as well.
Do I?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions on the commission?
Get it?
Thank you very
And
much.
you only have one entrance and one exit for the trailers?
trucks only.
'Cause that's the only thing I don't like.
Well, the more exits and entrances for the trucks creates
Because of
more.
the area, because of the area.
Well, it creates more conflicts.
Right.
So, yeah, you don't want more conflicts. You want to limit the conflicts in that intersection.
That's how we,
Yeah.
that's how we designed it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
And then with the queuing
within the property.
within the property.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, makes sense.
It's better.
Okay. Thank you.
Lines.
All right, what are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item, review and consideration from Embarcadero Southeast Quadrant Master Plan. The intent is industrial and commercial.
Yes, sir. For the record, applicant is Farias Development, engineer Camacho Hernandez and Associates, proposed use industrial and commercial. The zoning for this development is M1 and B4. Location view, aerial view, the proposed master plan, excuse me. Staff comments, planning, staff, traffic safety, parks and leisure. Proposed motion.
Okay, thank you.
También del-
Yes, sir?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, Ben Puig with Farias Development Limited. The only thing I would like to add is two clarifications. Under planning comments, item number 4, label Big Bend as Big Bend Boulevard. We wish to request that to Palm Lake Drive. That will fall in line more with the master plan it'll be serving, it'll be coming to the commission at the next meeting.
Okay.
And then I would also like to have the Parks and Leisure Department comment removed as well. The comment does not apply to the master plan that we're planning. It belongs to the owners to our east.
Which one is it?
The Parks and Leisure comment?
Didn't you say that Parks and Recreation had just hired a planner? How come he
Where is the
doesn't
planner?
attend the meetings?
Where is it?
They were notified to attend the meetings.
Do we need to talk to management or what?
I will talk to Mr. Gomez and ask him why she's not here.
I'll talk to management tomorrow.
But he is correct. The bottom portion is, it will be another developer who'll be coming forward, and he'll be coming forward, and he is the one that will decide on what we're gonna do with this water, but I do know Parks is already talking to him. But it does not apply
And
to
where does it,
Mr. Puig.
where is
The
that pond?
people that cleared the land,
Yeah.
is it them or is it the other guy?
Both of us. We have cleared our property along Mines Road and Loop 20. In preparation.
I saw that last week.
I saw it also.
The current master plan references this area to be master planned by a different owner. Previously, there was some phases within the previous master plan and now somebody else's? Is that
Yeah,
why that
so
comment
this
there?
master plan only considers lands that is left under Farias Development Limited ownership.
Thank you.
Didn't we approve this before?
Yeah, that's why he's coming in for reconsideration and review. Any other questions?
Pero ya lo hemos aprobado, ¿no? Esto.
El master plan.
All right, we have no further questions. What are the wishes of the commission?
So move to approve.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you.
Okay. Pero ¿por
The next item that we have is consideration of the following preliminary plats and preliminary replats. Preliminary consideration of the plat of Embarcadero Southeast Quadrant, Phase 1. The intent is for the dedication of right-of-way, Fasken Boulevard, Big Bend, and drainage right-of-way. All right?
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is, again, Farias Development, engineer Camacho Hernandez and Associates. Proposed use, dedication of right-of-way. The zoning for this development is R1A, B4, and M1. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. The plat. Staff comments, planning, traffic safety. Proposed motion.
Okay?
qué es lo que va a hacer?
Mr. Chairman, Ben Puig with Farias Development Limited. And same comment as on the master plan for the
Change the-
southeast.
The name?
Yes, sir, not Big Bend anymore, Palm Lake Drive.
Okay, I think they picked that up. Get that,
He
okay.
didn't say
I have a question for you, though.
Yes, sir?
On this dedication of right-of-way,
Yes, sir?
can you point out to me on the particular screen there, which is the portion that is being dedicated and who's it gonna be built by?
Baskin Boulevard is being proposed. This is the right-of-way dedication, a part of the plat for Fasken Boulevard. And what's not shown on here, but is a part of the first phase, is Palm Lake Drive, which is there.
Okay,
And then all the rest that you see that's shaded within this first phase of the plat are drainage improvements.
yeah, because that's another dedication that you're doing,
And
the drainage right-of-way.
The drainage improvements get maintained by the developer for 2 years, or how long is it now?
I believe it's 2 years.
No, no
Okay,
está-
but the dedication of this right-of-way, does that indicate, what does that indicate? Who is gonna build it?
Yeah.
You're wanting to know who's gonna build Fasken once it crosses over the drainage?
Correct.
We're building it all,
Yeah.
Okay, so why are you dedicating the right-of-way and just,
because it has to be in a plat.
okay, without developing Phase 7? Because, I mean, it could come in with,
Well,
well, I get it, you want to get it in first.
yes,
Yeah, I get it, okay.
it's also for contractual obligations as well to,
Okay.
to the seller
So, yeah, that makes
by
sense.
certain timeframes.
Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve, subject to comments with the amendments of the change of the street.
Yeah.
And second?
Subject to the change in comments.
Yes.
Right, to the street name.
Street.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those against? Motion carries. All right. Next item is preliminary consideration of the plat of Embarcadero Phase 2 subdivision. The intent is industrial.
Yes, sir. For the record, again, the applicant is Farias Development, engineer Camacho Hernandez and Associates. Proposed use industrial. The zoning for this development is M1. Location view, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat, staff comments, planning, proposed motion.
Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, Ben Puega, Farias Development. And we concur with staff recommendations, and we will ensure that we put Orlando Di Navarro in the signature block.
And of course, change of the name. It's one of the comments on there also.
Yes, sir.
You missed that?
Yes. Okay. Any questions? All right, motion?
Motion to approve, subject to the amendments.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second by Commissioner Alvalina. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion carries. Next item, preliminary consideration of the plat of Lot 1, Block 1. What is this, Avanti Legacy Rosewood? The intent is multifamily.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is Avanti Legacy Rosewood, engineer Craig Carney. Proposed use multifamily. The zoning for this development is R2. Location view, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat, staff comments planning, traffic safety, parks and leisure, proposed motion.
Okay. The engineer of record here?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Danny Tina from the record. The engineer unfortunately is very much under the weather, and he could not make it, but I was hired as a consultant on this job. And we agree with all of the staff comments on this plan.
All right.
How is it gonna impact traffic? It's the old George Garcia track, right, the mobile home
Yeah.
park?
It's just east of it.
Yeah, it's in front of.
West of it.
Correct.
It's in front of Popo Asan, the industrial warehouse,
Yeah.
it's, sir.
We're actually right across the street from the one Beto Gutierrez just did.
Where?
what's the name?
Beto Gutierrez?
Shadow Island.
It's behind the
This is,
gym.
This is, this is a proposed tax credit.
Yes, sir, that's correct. That's correct.
It's right behind that new gym that they built. Now, do you know if they'll be able to, I don't know if there's any issues with drainage here, or I know there's a creek that runs behind it there. I guess they're planning to put that towards the back of the lot, of this lot.
So, not that it doesn't pertain to this particular job, but we are talking to the developer on the south side to extend Springfield and put in the detention that's necessary for that area. So that's a separate developer.
That's north of this property, right?
That would be south.
South of this property.
South.
South, yeah.
Right, so, I mean, they're not involved in the discussion, but yes, it is being worked out.
And then I noticed, I guess there is a multifamily or complex proposed here for this
Correct.
property?
Correct.
Do you know how many units they're going to be looking at?
96 senior affordable units, basically. Active living with a full gym, with a clubhouse, with services, the whole deal. So, yeah, pretty, very impressive project. Obviously, tax credits are very, very difficult to come by, so it's, Very, very blessed to have a project like this in Laredo.
Former TDHCA. You might know the Representative Henry Flores out of Corpus Christi.
Yeah, no.
This is his.
Yeah, this is his project, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We have our own, but anyway.
Any other questions? All right, what are the wishes of the commission? Thank you.
Motion to approve?
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion carries. Next item is preliminary consideration of the plat of AEP Finca subdivision. The intent is an electrical substation.
Yes, sir. The applicant for the record is Juan A. Ludwig, engineer, CDS Murray Services, proposed use electrical substation. The zoning for this development is R1 and a portion is within the ETJ. Location view, aerial view, street view, proposed plat, staff comments planning, proposed motion.
All right. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is John Witt with CDS Murray, on behalf of Juan Ludwig. I'm here to speak in favor, and I've looked through the comments already. There's only one we'd like to discuss in particular. Everything else seems to be fine. That's comment 2 from planning. It refers to the fact that a portion of this property is within Webb County rather than city limits. We've already went and made contact with them, and we'd like to apply for a certificate of no plat with the county to handle that comment.
So the major portion of your property is in the city?
That's correct.
And it's a very insignificant that would allow for a certificate of no plat?
Exactly.
Okay.
The benefit is that because it's a public utility.
Sure, exactly. Okay. Any questions? Commission?
Did he say he was gonna volunteer annexation or what?
No?
No.
What does he want?
This is for a substation. A portion of this property, a little tiny sliver is probably in the county.
But
So he
it-
needs
it
to go to
says
the
it's-
county to get a certificate of no plat.
Okay.
Okay?
That's
Because he
why
still needs to go to the county because a
County.
portion of it is in the county.
Right.
But rather than plat a sliver that's unbuildable, other than for a utility
He needs-
company, he can get a certificate of no
It
plat.
says extraterritorial jurisdiction. That was your throw, right here.
And this will help reliability in the whole area,
That's correct, sir.
which is a
Yeah.
big issue. Okay, any other questions for the engineer? From anybody? No? Thank you very much. What are the wishes of the commission?
Thank you.
I move to approve.
A motion by Commissioner Lovelina and a second by
Narvaez.
Commissioner Narvaez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion carries. Next item, preliminary consideration of Block 1, Millennium Park and Mines Road.
Yes, sir.
Billboard number 1 plat.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is FM 1472 Investments. Engineer is Savio Engineering and Associates. Proposed use is commercial billboard. The zoning for this development is M1. Location view, aerial view, street view, the proposed plat, staff comments planning, proposed motion.
All right.
Good evening, Commission. My name is John Tomas Garcia, on behalf of Savio Engineering, and we concur with staff comments.
Okay.
You what?
Anybody have any questions?
How big of a truck is it?
45 by 60, I believe,
2,700 square feet.
2,700 square feet.
Any other questions? No? Very much. What are the wishes of the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve, subject to the comments.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second by Commissioner Barron. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion carries. Next item, preliminary consideration of Lot 1, Block 1, FM 1472, Investment Inc. and the Mines Road Billboard, plat number 2.
Yes, sir. Again, the applicant is FM 1472 Investments, engineer Savio Engineering and Associates. The proposed use is commercial billboard. The zoning for this development is M1. Location view, aerial view, street view, proposed plat, staff comments planning, and proposed motion.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Commission. My name is John Tomas Garcia, on behalf of Savio Engineering, and we concur with staff comments.
All right.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion carries. Next item, preliminary consideration of, what is this? Villegas Los Presidente Commercial Plat?
Which one?
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is VE Real Estate. Engineer is Pegua Consulting. Proposed use is commercial. The zoning for this development is MR1. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed plat. Staff comments planning. Proposed motion.
Okay,
Good evening, Mr. Chairman,
good evening.
Commission members. Rudy Santillan from Pegua Consulting. We concur with staff comments.
Any questions?
How would your cars exit from here?
Currently, the owner has not decided on what the proposed use will be, but if I'm not mistaken, I think the primary exit or the exit and the entrance would be off of Concord Hills Boulevard.
And we're in approval of it, subject to anything?
So this whole project came in, I don't know if you recall that we came in for zone changes for this area. So it's a major mixed use
Have you
property.
ever been there at 5 in the afternoon?
Well, with Los Presidentes now extending out to Loop 20, that's,
It's not connected.
what do you mean it's not connected?
Well, it's closed. They're
Not
doing
open yet.
repairs
It's not open yet.
It's not open.
It will be opening up.
sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has been platted already, Avenida Los Presidentes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's platted,
it's platted, yes.
so what's the delay in opening the road?
But we're staying on Concord Hills Boulevard as far as like the entrance, and we're staying on Concord Hills Boulevard as far as the entrance and the exit, but.
And you're gonna exit on 359?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, we do have the traffic director here if you'd like to ask another question.
Good idea.
Surprised that he didn't have a comment.
Just want to recognize that he's here.
Good evening, Robert Peña, Traffic Safety. So we've been waiting to strike Los Presidentes pavement markings. Weather needs to cooperate with us, so we're working in cooperation with the contractor out there to have the roadway swept before we can go in and do our work.
Okay.
They're supposed to open that roadway shortly after we're done with the pavement markings.
How long do you think that's gonna be?
It's up to the weather.
Potentially
It
in the next
doesn't
30
rain
days.
that much here.
Potentially
In 30 days?
30 days?
Potentially.
I mean, we just need to dry up. We were hoping
You're
to get
gonna
it
paint
done.
it? You're gonna paint it?
The city is going to paint the roadway.
Okay.
This is Avenida Los Presidentes.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be a second option as far as.
Sure.
It'll probably be the only option because.
Right, yes, instead of
Congested.
359, correct.
Okay.
I move to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? And a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those against, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item is preliminary consideration of the plat of east 1/3 of Lot 3 and the west 1/3 of Lot 4, Block 1915 Eastern Division into Lot 3A, Block 1915 Eastern Division. The intent is residential.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is Priscilla Flores, engineers, Howling Engineering and Surveying. Proposed use is residential. The zoning for this development is R3. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed replat. Staff comments planning. Parks and Leisure. Proposed motion.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Miguel Jimenez for the record, representing our client. And we concur with staff comments and here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay? Any questions?
The replat, right?
Thank you. Wishes of the commission?
I'll make a motion to approve subject to comments.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion carries. The next item is consideration of the following final plats and final replats. We have 9A, 9B, 10A. Can we have a motion to take them all together?
Motion to take all items together, final plans?
All right? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve
Second.
and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. All those against? Motion carries. Next item we have is item 11A. This is model subdivision compliance. We have a motion to approve?
Motion to
To
approve?
approve.
Okay, motion to approve
Second.
and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, those against? Motion carries. The next item is 12, election of officers. Unfortunately, we don't have a quorum of a full. So we'll have to table this again until the next meeting. I do recommend that the next meeting be moved to the public library because the Paisano traffic is already gonna become very heavy. And even today, I don't know what was going on, but the traffic was very heavy coming down on 35. Very, very heavy, and it was backing up. So I do recommend.
Make it happen.
We move it over there, to probably make it easier for everybody to get to without a lot of hassle.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we'll work with PAC and make sure we can get all that coordinated. If there's any issue, I'll give you a call, but other than that, the plan will be to move over there.
Okay. All right, motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Motion
adjourn.
to adjourn.
Motion, second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very much.